Chapter 4. The Legend of Daksha. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Sutta continued the narration of the legend. At the enchanting Kailasha peak, Shiva was worried. The goddess had gone uninvited to the enemy's house. Shambhu dreaded the consequences. Shiva was seated under a banyan tree. Nandikesha and others were seated around him. The attendants and yogis were chatting. They were singing many hymns. Shambhu sensed many terrifying, inauspicious omens. Everyone was frightened and sensed an ensuing calamity. Just then Narad Muni arrived. Narada bowed to the benevolent Shiva and the yogis stood before him in silence. Eventually, Narada conveyed the bitter news at an opportune moment with heavy heart. Narada said, Sati was truly blessed. She was a unique lady. She burnt herself alive, thus justifying her name. Sati, virtuous woman. When Shiva was censured, she burnt her body to ashes like a blade of grass. Narada's words hit Shiva like a thunderbolt. He felt as if he had been struck with an iron rod. He asked, "O Muni, is my beloved gone forever?" Narada said nothing. He was afraid of Shambhu's wrath and worried that he might be burnt to ashes by the intensity of fire of Shiva's sorrow and anger. Fearing this, Narada remained silent. Understanding the meaning of his silence, Shiva drowned in an ocean of sorrow. Shambhu lamented, "O Parvati, why have you abandoned me? Without you, O Shakti, I have become powerless. You were half my body. Having lost half my body, what remains behind is an incomplete form who only breathes. Now, life is meaningless without you. I shall renounce my body." Shambhu lamented thus. Yogis tried to console him, but his sorrow was inconsolable. He was worried and introspected. Vignakarta, creator of obstacles, may have driven me into this calamity. I had become arrogant because of my divine authority. He may have done this to crush my pride. Unparalleled prowess, Shakti, resided in half my body, in the form of Jagannatha. As I was Ardhanarishwara, we had never been separated. I was always accompanied by Shakti and was a powerful Ishwara. I was trapped in the desire for eternal glory and forgot Vignaraja, Lord of obstacles. With these thoughts, he meditated on the majestic and beautiful form of Ganapa. He sang bhajans with single-pointed mind. The form of Gajanana on which he meditated had an enormous body, Mahakaya, 4 arms, Chaturbhuja, pot belly, Mahodara, and an elephant face, Gajamukha. A shining crown adorned his head, and he wore radiant earrings. He wore a bejeweled necklace. Sesha was tied around his waist, and his anklets jingled. Siddhi and Buddhi accompanied him. The Chintamani jewel adorned his chest. Meditating with a single-pointed mind, Shankara had prepared an idol of him in his heart. Thereafter he extolled the Nirakara, formless Brahma, which had manifested in his heart in the Saguna form as Vignaraja. He extolled Ganesha and sang various hymns of praise. Shiva said, "I bow to you, O Vignaraja, King of obstacles. I bow to you, O Vignakarta, Creator of obstacles. I bow to you, Vignakarta, Ganesha and Vignapati. To Lambodara, the pot-bellied one, to the transcendental Vakratunda form, I bow to you. You assume various forms and differences created by the 3 gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. I bow to you. You are the true form of Brahma, as you are endowed with Nirgunatva, absence of qualities. You free devotees from bondages and protect them. I bow to you. You drive the non-devotees into darkness and instill various fears in them. O Hiramba, I bow to you. You are the focus of Vedas, the Eternal One. I bow to you. You possess infinite faces and innumerable arms and legs. To such a one I prostrate. I pray to the one who has innumerable hands, ears and bellies. To Gananayaka I pray, to the one worshipped since timelessness, the form of all. You engage in limitless divine plays, Leelas. I bow to you. I bow to the Purna form, absolute, O Madhotkata, Mahatma. O Lord, in the beginning you created Brahma, endowed with Rajas attributes. It was through Brahma that you created the universe. In the middle you created Vishnu, the Atma, contained in all, Sarvatmaka, endowed with Sattva Guna and preserved the universe through him. In the end, you, the primordial one, created the Tamas, Shambhu, and by your own prowess brought about annihilation. This is how Vedas have described you. To such a Ganesha I surrender. O Paramatma, O Ganaraja, you created Gunapala, endowed with Maya. You eternally reside in the abode of Swananda with Siddhi and Buddhi. O Ganesha, I surrender to you, who always resides in the heart of yogis. You are incomprehensible to the Vedas. You cannot be comprehended by the mind. O Vakratunda, I meditate on you in my heart. O Lord Ganapa, my form of Ardhanarishwara has ceased to exist. I have become devoid of Shakti. I have been nearly destroyed by my own deeds. O Lord, O Ganapa, I have lost Devi Shakti, who was endowed with various powers. Hence, O Lord of Lords, I am no longer an Ishvara. I am always Nirguna, without attributes. As Shambhu, I exist in the Saguna form, possessing attributes. Now, what will I do without Shakti? O Ganeshwara, I am unable to move forward without Shakti. Therefore, O Lord, have mercy and grant the strength to perform my karmas. Then Ganadipa manifested before him and compassionately said to Shankara, he said, O Shambhu, look at me. O Maheshwara, why are you mourning? You have my word. You will get Shakti again. There is no doubt about it. You had become arrogant and considered yourself as the only most powerful Deva in this Brahmanda. Hence I had created this unexpected obstacle for you. You have overcome your delusion and have remembered me. You have meditated on me. You also extolled me. So I am pleased with you. There is no doubt about this. Devi Sati will reincarnate as the daughter of Himalaya. O Shiva, knowing her as Parvati, you will wed her. You will worship me with steadfast devotion and will enjoy marital bliss with her. With my grace, you will regain your prowess. O Sadashiva, whenever you remember me, I shall manifest instantly. After granting these boons, Gajanana disappeared. Thereafter, Shankara was pacified and regained his prowess to perform his deeds. Remembering Ganesha in his mind, he struck his hand on his hair locks. From those locks of hair was created a lustrous Purusha named Veerabhadra, whose appearance resembled death. His arms were powerful. He had 3 faces and 3 feet. He was carrying a Trishula, trident in his hand. Veerabhadra was created. He stood before Shankara, bowed to him with his palms joined in reverence. He said to Shankara, O Mahadeva, command me. I am your servant and am eager to serve you. Listening to his words, Shankara was extremely happy. He said, Go and immediately destroy Daksha and his yajna. Veerabhadra bowed to the holy command and roared in laughter. The 3 worlds shuddered with fear at the sound of his laughter. Veerabhadra quickly created different types of Rudraganas, attendants of Shiva, from his body. They assembled and with Veerabhadra advanced to the yajna. The Tamoguna endowed Nandikesha and other Shivaganas followed. They were filled with wrath, and it appeared as if they would devour the universe in one morsel. At that time, several events occurred in the Daksha household, which were premonitions of bad omens. Devas and Munis were terrified and wondered what disaster would strike. Just then, the formidable and ferocious Veerabhadra and Rudras descended on the yajna. They were followed by Nandi, Bhringi, Riti, Bhringi, Pushpadanta, and other Shivaganas who viciously attacked the assembly. Their faces were red with anger. They seemed ready to swallow everything and appeared like Yama, god of death itself. Suddenly, they initiated a chaotic attack. They started thrashing everyone in all directions. The attendants of Daksha fled helter-skelter. They destroyed the yajna canopy, mandapa, in an instant. Even the gods and munis faced the wrath of Rudras. Thousands of wives of rishis and gods were attending the ceremony. The powerful Ganas did not spare them. They were also thrashed. There was an uproar everywhere. They said, "Why have you chosen such haters of Shiva as your husbands? This is what you have to endure as a result." Then the Ganas hastily devoured the offerings of the yajna. Urinating and defecating at the altar, they defiled the sacred yajna. To add to the woes, a furious Shankara arrived with his bow and arrow. He appeared to be an embodiment of the catastrophic fire, Pralaya Agni. A tumultuous war ensued between the Devas and Rudraganas. Shankara took an active part in the battle and used his deadly weapons and astras, the divine weapons. He shattered the teeth of Pusha using the Naraka Astra. He removed the eyes of Bhagadeva. The valiant Nandikesha grabbed Dharma, Yama, and asked, "O evil one, tell me, can you see any dharma, religiousness in a yajna without Shiva?" A fearless Bhringi captured Kashyapa. The mighty Pushpadanta thrashed Varuna. Bhairava thrashed Indra mercilessly till he fell unconscious. Veerabhadra with his prowess knocked Daksha onto the ground. While the yajna was being destroyed, Vishnu, the one who carried a Shankha, conch shell, chakra, wheel, and gada, mace, was fighting fiercely. He killed many mighty Rudraganas, Bhutas and Pisachas with his weapons. All of them were terrified. Seeing them, Shankara meditated on Ganadipa and released an arrow. The arrow pierced Vishnu in his heart and fell him down on the ground. When Vishnu regained consciousness, he released the dreadful Narayana Astra, capable of annihilating the world as a last resort. In retaliation, Shankara released his intense Pashupata Astra. A battle ensued in the skies. This resulted in a fire which spread all over the earth and across the three worlds, inciting terror. This rendered the three worlds practically dead. Just then, Veerabhadra beheaded Daksha and sacrificed his head in the yajna fire as if it were a sacrificial animal. An overwhelming atmosphere prevailed because of the chaos created by Rudras. The injured and mutilated gods had no savior. The terrified munis ran helter-skelter. Grabbed by the Pisachas, they screamed. Witnessing this, Vishnu hurled his Sudarshana Chakra, which resembled death, towards Shankara. But on nearing Shankara, the Sudarshana Chakra bowed to him and stopped in its path. Shiva was extremely enraged and picked up his trident. Just as he was brandishing the trident towards Vishnu, there was a celestial announcement that commanded Shiva to stop. The voice from the heavens said, O Shambhu, do not kill Hari. Instead, you are supposed to protect him. O Mahadeva, restrain your anger. I bow to the Shiva form within you. Suddenly, self-existent Swayambhu Brahma manifested and stopped Shiva. He said, O Shiva, you are the destroyer. Do not kill Vishnu. I bow to the tranquil Shiva who carries the Shula trident. O Shambhu, I bow to you. My prostrations to the Mahadeva, Rudra Pashupati. O Parameshwara, you are indeed the destroyer. Why are you causing this untimely annihilation? I prostrate to you. Restrain your wrath. When Brahmadeva invoked him, Shiva was pacified. At the same time, obeying Brahmadeva's instructions, Vishnu bowed to Shankara. Vishnu paid obeisance to Shiva. Vishnu was ashamed. Brahma spoke to Shankara in kind words. O Lord, the yajna has concluded. O Rudra, please accept whatever oblations remain as your share. O Shiva, Daksha and others were entrapped by Maya of Ganesha. Do not pay any attention or bear any grudges, as they were deluded. O Shankara Deva, have mercy and be pleased. You are the bestower of happiness to all. Be kind and permit the yajna to commence once again. Revive the Devas, Munis, women and devotees injured by Rudras and restore them as before, O Shankara, O kind-hearted one. Shankara agreed. The sight of Bhagadeva was restored. Pusha was able to eat again. He got his teeth back. He restored Devas, Munis, servants, women and all devotees. They regained their appearance and luster. When their sorrows ended, they all bowed to Shankara. The head of Daksha had been burnt in the fire. Seeing this, Shankara summoned Bringi and said to him, O Bringi, bring me the head of the first being you see. It will become the head of Daksha. Bringi obeyed the orders of Shiva and went in search of a living being. What he saw first in his path was a healthy ram, a he-goat. Bringi decapitated it and carried the head to Shankara. Shankara fixed the ram head on Daksha and revived Daksha. Daksha woke up immediately. Daksha got a face of a ram, he-goat. Heeding to the advice of Brahmadeva, Daksha settled aside his pride, sang the praise of Sarveshwara, Lord of all, Shankara. Daksha invoked Shiva. The universe is sustained by worshipping you. To Shiva Shankara, who has inspired the Lord of Time, Kala, at an appropriate time, I prostrate to you. With the passage of time, the seeds sprout, fruits, flowers and other food grow over time. Rains, floods and drought occur due to time, O Lord. It is due to Kala, Surya and other stars burn brightly. O Lord, it is due to the power of Kala that rains, floods and drought occur. Brahmadeva creates the world again and again. Influenced by Kala, an indestructible Vishnu preserves this earth influenced by Kala. Shambhu also annihilates due to the influence of Kala. All that exists in the universe is dependent on time. There is no doubt about it. Kala is known by names such as Ishvara, Bhagwan and Brahma. The proponents of Vedas have mentioned that Vedas have called him Shiva. O Ocean of Mercy, O Parameshwara, Supreme Ishvara, I bow to you. Due to the influence of your Maya, I had become arrogant. Forgive my offense, I bow to you. The Saguna form with attributes, I prostrate to you again and again, whose true form is Nirguna, without attributes. You are the creator, preserver and annihilator of the world. I bow to the one who assumes such different forms. You are the amassment of innumerable qualities. Gunas, how can I describe these aspects? Brahma and others could not describe you in entirety. Then how can I do so? O absolute form of Shiva, You are Brahma, the most supreme amongst Devas. Your glory has no beginning, middle, or end. I prostrate again and again to the destroyer of the fear of his devotees. Daksha sang verses of praise fervently and brimming with love. But the words that poured out of his ram mouth, he goat, sounded like the bleating of a goat. O Munishwaras, Mahadeva's heart melted and he was pleased. Mahadeva replaced his head once again with that of a human being. Shiva addressed him lovingly. O Daksha, you will regain your position of Prajapati and will be acclaimed by all. The stotra that you have composed has become clear to me. Anyone who recites this stotra composed by you will be blessed with fulfillment of desires. After enjoying the pleasures of this world, he will ascend to my abode. In the end, he will be beloved to me. The devotees must speak to me at least once in the same manner, bleating, in which you spoke when you had possessed the head of a ram, he-goat. This will please me and I shall fulfill all their desires. Granting these boons to Daksha, Shambhu disappeared. Thereafter, the assemblage returned to their homes happily. Daksha was dejected as Shiva and others had departed and lived at his home. Since then, anyone who is a devotee of Shiva prays at the Shiva temple by bleating like a goat. This pleases Shankara. I have narrated the legend of Daksha from the commencement of the curse, the yajna, and its destruction. What more do you want to listen to? Thus ends the 4th chapter titled The Legend of Daksha in the first khanda of Puranopanishad Shrimad Mudgal Puran, describing the legends of Vakratunda. Dedicated to Sri Gajanana. End of chapter 4.